What's poppin' YouTube? Coming at y'all with a deck profile. This deck profile is gonna be on Heraldic Beast. Um, this is a deck that I've been messing around with. Really budget deck. Unless you go to the extra deck and maybe the Curry Bandits. I don't know. It might be cheap right now, but I just want to show y'all this deck profile. It's a pretty good deck. Um, I played a couple duels with it. If I get some, at least a thumbs up or somebody commenting, I can do some duel videos. Um, this is not really a side deck. Those are just cards that I interchange. Trying to make different decks, or if I like copy the deck, you can't really make that in this deck. But if I copy the deck, did a default and then just took out the the main deck and left the exceeds so that I don't have to keep looking for all the exceeds. That's basically when you get them random exceeds on the bottom. But without further ado, let me get to this deck profile. You run. This is not in any order. I just put them there. But you run two of these. These are pretty good if you just want to set. Let's say your opponent has a troublesome monster. If it's a hand, this sucks, but actually hand can't beat this, so it'll be even. But or hand, I don't know. One of them is even, but yeah, this card you just set it and it destroys a monster. You don't have to run two. You can run one and then run some more traps. But I run two just so I can get more heraldics instead of counting on eight. I count out on 10 instead of eight. So 10 targets for my 6 reborns seems pretty legit. Well, 7 reborns. So you have two of these. You can read the effect there. It's pretty clear. You have 3 of Leo. Leo is like basically the best one in this deck, I think, because it helps you thin down your deck. His effect reads, you summon him, he gets destroyed at the end phase, but whenever this card is sent to the graveyard, you could add a Heraldic Beast to your hand from your deck. So you can only do one per turn because there is multiple instances where you can do 2 or 3 of them in one turn. So that would be too broken because it'll thin down your deck way too quickly. But yeah, usually if you got a normal summon, get over a Thunder King. He's 2,000. He's pretty good. If you want to run some type of skill drain deck, you could run. You could run this. The only bad part is you can't add himself. If you can add himself, then you could put him in like a TG stun deck. Just because he's 2,000 attack, that, like I said, that gets over Thunder King. That gets over some troublesome monsters that um, just with one normal summon. But his best asset is letting you get a monster to your hand. So it thins down your deck and it gives you a target for Wind Blast. I should be running 2 Wind Blast, but like I said, I've been trying out different things with the deck. Um, so yeah, then you run 3 other Abercrombie. Um, he's pretty good too. He gives you more. Like I said, I think I should run 3 Phoenix Wind Blast. So let me see. Just gonna add it on here. Just looking for it on that's not I'm not glitching. That's just me looking for it on the side. There's something that I didn't put on here. So to tell you the truth, you don't need the Call of the Haunted. You can run 2 Phoenix Wind Blast, probably much better. Um, so 3 of these. His effect is one sees in the grave. If you have another Abercrombie in there, you could remove one and get a Heraldic Beast to your hand. It's pretty good. You can only do one of him per turn, but there's combos on having him in the grave. Plus, he's a win. That's the main thing. You see, he's a win. That's good. This guy's a win too. This guy's pretty good too. It's not a good card to draw into, but again, you have Wind Blast, so you can use him. Basically, what he does is you could target a face-up exceed. Let's say that you have a Chidori that you keep bouncing things, and then Chidori has nothing under him. Now you can target with this guy. You could target 2 Heraldic Beasts in your grave and put it under that exceed. It's pretty good. Comes in handy. Um, then you have Mathematician. It's just to get your Leo out to the grave, so you actually +1 because you well, not really +1. You summon him and then replenish the monster you just summoned. So you summon him, drop a Leo, and then he gets destroyed. You get a card, so you get a plus off of it, anyways. Um, then you have Curry Bandit. You want to put your Heraldic Beast in the grave. There's been a lot of times. I mean, I only run 17 monsters. Like, if you run 20 monsters, I think that's basically the best time to run Curry Bandit. But I mean, it don't matter what I get to the grave, because let's say I have 16 monsters. You know, if I draw a Curry Bandit and I don't draw any monsters in my hand, I'll have 16 monsters in my grave. Plus, I'll have 2 breakthrough skills. They're gonna go to the grave, and they still be useful in the grave. So if you mail monster, pretty good. If you mail multiple spells, then I guess there you go. You just pot a duality for a spell and then thin down your deck by 5 cards. So he's pretty good. You could run 2 if you want. You know, gives you more space for other monsters or other spell and trap. Um, so you can always thin down. But for the most part, every time I play, it's been pretty consistent. So I like Carry Bandit, and then you run the 1 Sephiroth because you can just Monster Reborn any of these basically, and then bring back Sephiroth from the grave, and then normal summon Everconway or normal summon the Leo, and then overlay, and then you have a quick overlay right there. So, and by Monster Reborn is this? It's not really monster. It's called Heraldry, yeah, Reborn. So you could target one of the Heraldic Beasts and put them on the field, obviously. So right there, you got 3 Monster Reborn, free, real free. So funny. And then they have 3 more Monster Reborn, but this you have to go into Exceed automatically, like right after you bring them out. Which that's why it's not overbroken, because if you could just special summon 2 and then it says you can only exceed with them, then that would have been broken. But they say immediately. That's what you look at immediately after this resolves. Bring out an exceed. So you have to know what you're gonna bring out. And like I said, you can always bring out 2 of these. You can bring out a Leo. You can bring out Eric Conway. Then you go Labo Chain, drop Leo, drop a Eric Conway to the grave, or stack a Curry Bandit, or stack Zephyros, whatever you need, or you Chidari by bringing back 2 Aberconways or 1 of each. So it's a instant. It's an instant exceed. That's just too good. That's 6. That's literally 6 ways to reborn in this deck. So even though when you normal summon these monsters, they have shitty effects, you're still good. Then you have the triple space to get rid of back row. Foolish to combo off with Leo. Book of Moon because it's Book of Moon. Dark Hole because it doesn't matter. You could Dark Hole and then go into your reborns. So for traps, you got Bottomless, Solemn. The 2 wiretaps, pretty freaking good. You got the Compulse. You got the 2 Phoenix Wind Blast, 2 Horns, and then the 2 Breakthrough Skill to negate effects. So you got this guy. This guy's pretty good. Once per turn, you can target a face-up exceed that your opponent control. Then it's basically its original attack and its effect becomes whatever that person is, and then that monster becomes 0. So you basically copycat them, then take their effect as well, and then make them 0, and basically this is till the end phase. So I can do a Big Eye, make them 0, then activate Big Eye's effect, detach and grab his monster. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good card. You could do it on your turn or their turn. So it's pretty broken. If this card was a generic, oh man, it would have been expensive as hell. But basically here it says you need 2 Heraldic Beasts. So then you have the Emeralds just to recycle the Heraldic Beasts, because you